We hear it all the time, right? Just think positive and you'll be happy. But what if a lot of what we've been taught about positive thinking is actually holding us back? So let's cut through all that noise and figure out what really truly works.
So let's get right to it. Does that advice to just be positive, does it actually hold up when things get tough? It seems like a simple question, but the answer, well, it's way more interesting and honestly way more helpful than you might think.
Okay, before we dive any deeper, let's make sure we're on the same page. Real positive thinking, it's not about putting on rose-colored glasses or faking a smile when you don't feel it. It's definitely not about denying reality. It's actually about seeing things as they really are, getting a handle on your emotions about it, and then choosing to move forward with confidence.
To really get what this authentic positivity is all about, we've got to do a little demolition work first. We need to tear down the myths surrounding it. So let's start by busting 5 of the biggest misconceptions that might be tripping you up.
All right, first up is a huge one. It's this idea that being positive means you have to build this fortress around your mind and never, ever let a negative thought get in. The belief that if you just ignore a problem, it'll just poof, disappear. But we all know life doesn't really work that way, does it?
In reality, an effective positive attitude is all about courage, not avoidance. Think of it like a 3-step process. First, you actually recognize the problem. You look it straight in the eye. Then, you regulate your emotional reaction so you can think clearly. And finally, you pivot to finding practical solutions. It's this powerful mix of realism and hope. This next myth creates so much unnecessary pressure. It's this really toxic idea that if you're not happy all the time, you must be failing somehow. It turns perfectly normal human emotions like sadness or frustration into a sign that you're just not doing it right.
But here's the truth. Nobody is happy all the time. It's not how we're built. Emotions like fear or sadness are totally natural. In fact, they're adaptive. Fear can keep you safe, right? And the crazy part is, research shows that when you actively try to push these feelings away, it just makes your stress levels go up. So the goal isn't to get rid of them, it's to learn how to manage them.
Ah yes, the fixed mindset myth. This is that sneaky idea that you're either born an optimist or a pessimist, and that's just your lot in life. And if you don't see yourself as a naturally positive person, this belief can feel like a life sentence, like you're just stuck.
But modern neuroscience tells a completely different story, and it all revolves around this incredible concept, neuroplasticity. What this means is your brain is not hardwired. It's more like clay. It can physically change, it can rewire itself, and it can form new pathways all based on your experiences and your thoughts.
And that's revolutionary. It means positivity isn't some fixed trait. It's a skill you can actually train. It's just like lifting weights builds muscle. When you practice things like mindfulness or gratitude, you are literally reshaping your brain over time. The bottom line here is you have so much more power to change your outlook than you probably think.
Okay, this is the wishful thinking myth. It's that popular idea that if you just want something bad enough and think positively about it, the universe is just going to hand it to you. It's a nice fantasy, but it can quickly become a dangerous illusion that keeps you from making any real progress.
The reality is, a positive mindset is just the starting block. It's the fuel. It's not the whole engine. Real success requires all 3 of these things. You need that positive mindset to give you the spark, then you need a practical plan to act as your roadmap, and, most importantly, you need to take consistent action to turn that vision into a reality. Without action, optimism is just a daydream.
And here's our final myth, which might be the most damaging one of all. This is the belief that feeling sad or angry or anxious is a sign of weakness, a character flaw that you need to hide or just get rid of.
Let's just reframe this entirely. Negative emotions are not a weakness. They're information. Think of them like valuable signals that your mind and body are trying to send you about something important.
So, what are these signals trying to tell you? Well, when you learn to listen to your emotions instead of fighting them, they can become your guide. They can point out where you need to set a boundary, or they can highlight what truly matters to you. They can even be the catalyst for personal growth. Just remember, the emotion itself is never the problem. It's getting stuck in it that causes trouble.
So now that we've cleared away all these myths, what does real, effective positivity actually look like? What is this true power that we're left with?
And here it is, maybe the single most important takeaway from all of this. Authentic positivity isn't about ignoring the tough parts of life. It's the skill of holding both hope
and a clear-eyed awareness of reality at the exact same time. It's realistic, it's resilient, and it's something you can actually act on.
So, to bring this all home, I want to leave you with one final question to carry with you. A way to take this from just being an idea to being a practice in your own life.
Instead of seeing those so-called negative emotions as problems, what if you started treating them as messengers? Just ask yourself this: what valuable information have my feelings of sadness or anger or anxiety been trying to give me? Listening for the answer might just unlock your next step forward.